What's up? Good morning, everybody. How y'all are doing? This is your girl, your diva in knowledge. Lady Mocha represent Mocha's Cafe de Paris, where I'm always serving you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. Big ups. Want to give a shout out to all of my subscribers. You know, I see y'all as family. Shout out to my ladies who are rocking with me from day one. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to all of my guys, the men who have been really supporting me, through this movement. So again, I really want to appreciate each and every one of y'all for still having my back, still being solid, still being part of my movement. Again, I want to thank each and every one of y'all. Thought it was imperative that I did this particular recipe, this content today. I want to talk about how Black content creators are weaponizing the truth. I felt it was imperative that I talked about this because what is going on is that a lot of Black content creators, meaning Black men and Black women who have become successful in the YouTube industry with their channel, how they have come to a point in which their success, their popularity has made them believe that they can utilize their truth to not build the Black community, but if anything, to dismantle and belittle and basically attack the Black community. And I will say that there are Black women content creators and Black male content creators that are both guilty of doing this. Both are guilty of Black bashing, meaning specifically doing content that's based on attacking, belittling, or degrading the opposite gender. And me personally, I feel that as a content creator, we have a responsibility. And it's up to us that even with our platform, we are very careful in how we utilize it and how we basically build our platform. We are responsible for the message that we preach. We are responsible for the material that we produce on these YouTube streets, because our subscribers, especially when you have a large platform and you have over thousands of subscribers, that means that you have a lot of people that not only admire your content, but they also respect you as the content creator that's giving this type of content. So with that being said, we have to be very careful because, truth be told, a lot of us as content creators, we have put ourselves in positions in which we have become leaders. We have become leaders in distributing content, whether that content is about Black women, if that content is about Black men. We are leaders, and people are going to respond and react based on the type of message, the type of knowledge that we are distributing. So the first thing I wanted to discuss is when it comes to truth, are we utilizing truth the right way? And what I've been noticing, I've been peeping for the clouds. A lot of content creators, a lot of Black content creators, they are weaponizing the truth. Now, don't get me wrong. The majority of content creators on these YouTube streets, even the ones you may not like, even the ones you may not support, or even the ones who you truly support that other people may not like, other people may not rock with. The truth is, as Black men and Black women, all of us got truth to a degree. All of us have knowledge. All of us got wisdom. There are certain things that I may discuss on my platform, and for the most part, it's going to have some truth due to the fact that a lot of Black men and Black women will be able to identify with the topics that I discuss. with the material, the things that I discussed, all of us could relate. Whether if you can relate to it personally because it was you at one point in time, or you can relate because it's occurred with people that you know of. For instance, when I did my content talking about registered sex offenders, and I talk about how Black single women or Black single mothers, they are the most vulnerable creatures in the Black community when it comes to falling prey to a registered sex offender. Now, most would agree with this particular statement because the truth is that there are mostly single mothers who end up getting caught up with these registered sex offenders in their households around their children because, again, when you are a single mother, sometimes the burdens of having to do it all by yourself and not having a man in your life, in your home, as a woman, you still have that desire to want to be in a relationship. Even if you got 8, 9 kids, it does not mean because a woman is a single mother, she's not going to want a man. Now, I do know that plenty of Black male consecrators have been attacking single mothers, saying, when you got 8, 9 kids, you don't deserve a man to be a stepdaddy to your kids. No man should be responsible for helping you take care of multiple children you got from multiple men. I agree with that, but guess what? Me agreeing with it is still not going to make a single mother of 5 or more children not desire a man. She's still going to want a man 8, 9 kids later. And regardless of how much people be preaching on YouTube, stay away from single mothers, these YouTube dating pastors that like to tell Black men, stay away from these single mothers, stay away from these women with multiple children. Truth is, there are men that are still going to deal with women who got kids from other men. There are still men that are going to have children from Black women who already got too many goddamn children. And the truth is, single mothers are not going to stop looking for a man. She's not going to feel like, well, I already got too many children, and it's not fair for me to look for a man and look for him to be a captain, save him, and help me with my 8, 9 kids that I already had from other Negroes before I got with him. She's still going to look for a man. They're doing it every day. You got single mothers out there, 5, 6 kids or more, still looking for a man, still want a man. And you got men, as much as they listen to these YouTube dating coaches, they still messing with these women. They still having children from these women. They still having sex with these women. So I use that example to pretty much state that even though we know there's truth to that if a woman has multiple children for multiple men, she shouldn't be looking for anybody. And we know that men who don't have the amount of baggage that these type of women carry should not even be interested in these type of women. We know that's the truth. However, the problem with that is when you display this type of message, it's okay to speak your truth. But then when you take it to a level of just straight attacking, for instance, if you want to do content about single mothers need to carry their own weight, take care of their own children, versus looking for a man to help them with their baggage, the appropriate way of saying it is, look, as a single mom, it is better for you to hold your own and carry your own so you don't burden the next man with your responsibilities. Because not only does it eliminate the next man from having to take care of another man's responsibilities, but you also reduce the chances of your children being abused sexually, physically, emotionally by men that aren't biologically their fathers, who don't really feel the need to really step up and be the right type of man to lead by example, versus stating that Black single mothers are dumb, they're ignorant, they make the worst decisions when it comes to choosing black men, or you are less than a woman if you're going around here looking for other men to help you take care of your responsibilities. Now, you notice with two of them, the first one, I gave you an actual solution. I actually gave you something to consider versus just straight attacking, straight criticizing. The first time I said, listen, being a single mother, you don't need to be looking for Captain Save'ems because, you know, these majority of these men out here, a lot of them don't have good intentions. And single mothers are can easily fall prey to men that are registered sex offenders, because men that are registered sex offenders, they know how to con and prey on women that are single mothers, because they know the majority of the time single mothers want a man to play a role in their child's life. So yes, I've given I added sugar insults. Other words, yeah, I did tell the single mothers how they don't need to be looking for a man to help, you know, with their baggage, but at the same time, I'm letting them know why. I'm giving them something, things to think about, things to consider, versus just attacking them, saying, single mothers ain't shit. Single mothers, are nothing but burdens to black men. And that is the problem with the majority of these content creators. It's all attacks, but no solutions. Same thing. If you're going to tell, as a black male content creator, if your goal is to teach black men to stay away from certain black women, you know, the type of message you put out there, if you're going to put it out there, also put a solution versus just attacking. For instance, if you give that type of content as a black man, if you want to tell other black men, black women don't deserve to be married, don't marry a black woman, because black women, you know, they don't have the best intentions when it comes to marrying a black man. They only want black men with money. They only want black men who they can benefit from. Okay, that's the narrative you want to promote. But at the same time, you also need to address how they need to start making themselves prey to picking up women who could possibly use them. For instance, if you're going to tell them to stay away from these black women, you also need to tell them, okay, you as a black man, it's important that you carry yourself a certain way so you don't attract the wrong type of black woman. For instance, you telling black men to stay away from thoughts and stay away from hoes, stay away from gold diggers, but you're not telling him that he does not need to make himself a thought magnet by flashing his money, being flashy with his lifestyle. He always got to wear the top of the line designer labels, top of the line designer shoes. He's not a high value man unless he drives a top of the line vehicle. But you're not telling him every once in a while, drive you a little hatchback. Every once in a while, dress up in plain clothes. Because if a woman sees you decked up, suited and booted from head to toe, she see you driving the baddest car, you wearing most expensive suits, she automatically, especially the mindset of a gold digger, she's going to only be attracted to you based on your image. And sometimes even a high value man has to dress like a plain dude, because guess what? If he runs into a female when he's just like a plain dude, like he's just going in the Home Depot, and he meets a woman that so happens wants to talk to him or hold a conversation with him, he'll know right then and there, okay, this woman ain't talking to me because I'm in a $2,000 Armani suit. and I'm walking $800 gator shoes. She's interested in me for me, not because of what she thinks I have. And see, that's another thing. A lot of black male content creators aren't telling black men that sometimes you attract thoughts because you always got to put on this high value image that you got so much. If you know you're financially well off, you know you are successful, you don't have to be a high value man walking billboard. It's okay to rock Walmart shoes and a plain white t-shirt and some off-brand pants, because you don't want to always look like this guy that got so much, because only women that are interested in finding a man to secure a bag with, you're going to stand out like a high value walking billboard. And she's going to only be attracted to you based on the image that you look like you have a lot. So every once in a while, even if you got a Lexus and you got an Acura, you got a Mercedes Benz, buy you a little hitchback car on the side. Drive your little 91, 92 Toyota Camry around. That way, if you so happen to meet a woman somewhere and that's the kind of car you driving, you'll know she's interested in you for you, not because of what you have. So that's just an example. Again, you have a lot of black content creators that are telling the truth, but they are weaponizing the truth. First of all, as a content creator, when we decide to build a platform, we basically, for the most part, are going to speak on subjects that we can relate to based on our personal experiences, based on our personal encounters. A lot of the content that we distribute to our subscribers are based on things that only we can relate to for the most part, or things that we have knowledge of. In other words, even the pastor of your church, he cannot give sermons on things that he has not personally experienced himself, or things that he cannot personally relate to. So you have to understand, whenever you have a black man or a black woman that is constantly giving bitter pill knowledge, and that's what I call it, bitter pill knowledge, giving you knowledge from a bitter standpoint. Bitter pill knowledge content creators are the ones that are always weaponizing the truth. If the majority of your platform is about black women never being qualified, no matter if she has a degree, if she doesn't have a degree, if she's a doctor, or if she's a cashier at Burger King, no matter what credentials she has, whether she's independent with no children, whether she's a single mother with multiple children, every time any woman of any caliber who reaches out to you, you don't have not one positive thing to say, not one. And that's frightening to me, because my thing is, okay, yeah, I get it. You don't want to sugarcoat with these women. You don't want to pamper them. You don't want to make these women feel like you're feeding into their delusions. But at the same time, it's gotten to a point to where some of these women, no matter how many black male content creators they reach out to, they're never going to be that girl. They're never going to be. It don't matter. They're never going to qualify. And that's what a lot of black women have to understand. It don't matter how many shows you call into, who you get advice from. If a person already has a stigma that black women ain't shit, it don't matter where you coming from. There's going to be a block that's going to disqualify you automatically. you're automatically going to be disqualified in a man's eyes that already has rejected black women. Don't matter, like I said, it's not going to matter your status. It don't matter if you're beautiful and you work out in the gym, if you're a college girl, your body's still tight, you have no children. The moment you come out your mouth and say one little thing, because you're a human being, you make one little mistake or you ask the wrong question, you automatically going to be not qualified. You will never qualify in the eyes of a man that has already considered black women as society's rejects. So you can call in all you want. You can brag about your degrees. You can brag about you don't have any children. You're never going to be that it girl. You're never going to win that Nobel Peace Prize. It'll never get to a point to where these content creators are going to say, you know what? Finally, we have a black woman that is qualified to be with a high value man. Finally, you have no children. You have your own business. You're beautiful. You're in shape. You don't wear weave. You wear your own hair. You wear your own nails. Now I can give you the Nobel Peace Prize as a qualified black woman that is qualified for a high value black man. I honestly don't think no woman, when it comes to some of these shows, some of these black content creators, I don't think any black women are going to win these certain individuals over. It's not going to matter. Because for one, once a person has built a platform off of shaming black women, and if he decides to switch it up and give a black woman props, it's going to take away from what people are following him for in the first place. Because contrary to what many people may not think, you have a lot of black men, and I ain't gonna put all on black men. You got like black women who get a kick out of watching black women get insulted. And black people, we've always been like that with each other. We don't really like to see each other win. So it's not just the black men that get a kick out of these black women being assaulted, but it's black women that's getting a kick out of it. Seeing black women call into these shows and say, I'm successful, I have no children, and to be told, okay, even though we hear all the time that single mothers aren't marriage material, you thinking when you call into the shows, you got to one up because you're not a single mother, you don't have children, you're independent, you got your own business, to only be told you still not that good looking. You thinking you won half the battle just by not having multiple baby daddies, to call in and be told, okay, yeah, you got your own business and you don't have baby daddies, but guess what? You still average. Or you can call in and be a college chick that's beautiful, never been married, and the moment you say something dumb out your mouth, because you're still young and immature and learning how to conduct yourself as a woman when you're talking to a grown man, only to be belittled and say, ma'am, what you saying isn't making any sense. Ma'am, what you saying, that doesn't sound right. When really the truth of the matter is, a lot of black women, we have to constantly be trained on how to talk and how to conduct ourselves around men of high value, because the truth is, a lot of us as black women, we've been in the circle of dealing with bums and thugs and low value dudes. So now when it's time to hold a real dialogue with high value men, truth be told, a lot of us, we don't know how to. Some of us didn't grow up with fathers to learn how to conduct ourselves when we have a conversation. So when you call into these places because you want to learn, and you want to try to get some constructive criticism, all you get is the criticism, but you don't get no solutions. And that's the problem with a lot of these black content creators. It's all about using folks as a mockery, making a mockery out of folks so you can entertain your audience versus educating your audience. And for me personally, I don't knock what nobody's doing. I think whatever you're doing with your platform is, if it's working for you and you have a lot of followers, then keep doing what you do. If that's what's helping your channel to be successful, if that's what's helping your channel to grow, hey, no, don't let nobody stop your flow if that's what's helping you to progress. But I'm more disappointed in the Black women that are calling in to these content creators, because my thing is this: a man can't give you a whole lot of information within a 10-15 minute conversation, because he don't know enough about you to already give you an assessment on who you are as a woman. There's not enough time within 10 to 15 minutes of one conversation to have a full assessment on what kind of woman you are. Because let's be honest, a lot of women, when we call into these type of shows, we're not going to be 100% honest, because for one, we're intimidated. We're afraid that if we tell too much truth about ourselves, that is going to be held against us. So I really believe a lot of times when some of these females be calling into these content creator shows, they be holding back. They don't tell all the truth. They tell the truth that they feel is going to spare them some empathy and sympathy. They really don't want to be too transparent, because they feel like if they really be transparent, that they're going to get bit in the process of it. So as a woman, when you call into these shows and you know you already scared and you are intimidated that sharing your truth may get you attacked, then it does you a disfavor, because when you're asking a man, or when you're asking a Black male content creator, or you're asking a Black female content creator, you want their real opinion on why you can't get a man, or why you can't have trouble dating, and why you can't get married. For one, these content creators cannot give you a real assessment off of the information you're giving them, because 9 out of 10, the information you're giving them is not 100% truthful. So you already lose a strike when you call in. It defeats the purpose of calling in, because if you want the truth, you can't get the truth. You can't get a true assessment off of a lie. And I really believe that the majority of these Black women who call into these shows, they do themselves a disservice, because they're not being 100% honest. They're telling half-assed truth, because they know if they were to say, well, I'm not married, I got 5 different baby daddies, I live in the projects, I don't wear my own hair, I do wear extensions. They know if they really was to be transparent and really put it all out there, that they're going to get attacked. They're not going to get a real solution. They're going to be told off the jump. Well, I can tell you right now, you ain't going to get nobody. Nobody wants a woman with 5, 6 kids who has to wear hair bundles, who lives in low income housing. A lot of these Black women know they'll be written off the moment they really speak their truth. And the sad part is, you as women who are struggling in a dating pool, we need to be able to be transparent and say, I ain't gonna lie, I do have 3 baby daddies. I am living off the system. I can't get a job because I got too many kids, and none of the baby daddies, I don't get along with them, so they really don't help me. I have to do it all on my own. I mean, women should be able to be transparent and be given the truth without the truth being weaponized. Okay, well, all right, since this is your situation, I'm gonna be honest with you. You can get somebody, but the problem is the guys you're going to pick up are going to be guys who not going to have much to offer you. Now, you have to find out, because of your situation, you got to find a man that's going to be willing to deal with your struggles, but you got to be willing to deal with his struggles. It's better for you to get a man. I know you want to do better, and you feel like you need to set your standards high, but it's too late now to be picky. At this point, you got to meet a dude on your level of struggle. Meaning that, yeah, he's struggling, but he wants more out of life, and he's actually make moves to get to a better place. And you should be doing that as well. Yeah, you got 3, 4 baby daddies, but what are you and you got 3, 4, 5 kids, but what are you planning on doing to better yourself? Are you going to buy you a home in the future? All that child support you're getting, are you stacking it up, putting it up? So by the time your children get 18 and you no longer get these benefits, you can go ahead and get yourself a house of your own instead of living off the system. And the same thing, the shoe going the other foot. There are Black female content creators that basically have a platform based on stating that Black men aren't worth of value, that Black women shouldn't even be interested in Black men, or Black women need to learn how to expand their options by dating men outside of the race, outside of the Black race. When as a Black woman, before you give these Black women advice on what type of Black men they should be dating or shouldn't be dating, you need to do an assessment on her and find out what is it about her where she can't land a relationship with a Black man. Is she too snooty? Is she too arrogant? Is she so independent that she feels like she does not have to be submissive at all? See, everybody wants to give advice and not and have and give criticism, but at the same time, you're not going to know a whole lot about a person within a 10, 15-minute phone call. Now, I've always said this, and the truth is, Black women, it's our fault that we put ourselves in a position to be attacked. When we call into shows, when we get on platforms and panels, you put yourself in a position to be attacked. Because for one, I'm going to tell you something. These men on YouTube, they don't know enough about you to give you a full assessment. That's like you going to a doctor. You going to a doctor who don't know nothing about your health condition. Your main doctor who you've been with for years, who already is familiar with your health condition, who already familiar with your medical history. You go to a whole nother doctor. This is your first time ever being with him, and you want to get a second opinion from him, and he can't really give you a real assessment because the only assessment he's going to give you is based on the information you give him within that 5 minutes of the interview or the questionnaire. Now, if you had gone to your doctor, who had been your doctor for 10, 15 years, he can give you a more valid answer, more valid solutions, because he's been with you a long period of time. He knows you as his patient. Same thing. What Black women don't understand, if you really want an opinion about how you are as a Black woman, why you're not able to find a good man, why you're not able to get in a stable relationship, all you got to do is talk to men who know you, who have been with you. Why would you want to call a stranger who don't know nothing about you, that's going to make an assessment based on how you look, based on the information you give him, which you know is going to be half-assed, because Black women, we don't always tell 100% the truth, because you're going to hide other parts to protect yourself from being ambushed. So my thing is, if you really want a self-assessment on why you are struggling to find a good companion, talk to people who already know you, who have been with you. In other words, talk to your ex-husband. He'll tell you why the marriage didn't work out, why the relationship, if you're not in such a bitter place with him, if you and him still cool with each other and y'all still friends, ask him, what was it about you? But now you got to be strong enough to be able to accept the answer. And you can't be in delusion like he don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Because My thing is, you better off asking somebody who done been with you versus calling some random guy who know nothing about you, who's already going to disqualify you from the moment you say one thing he feels he doesn't like about you. You're not going to get a real answer. If you've been married 3-4 times, call all 3-4 your ex-husbands. If you've never been married, call your boyfriends, your ex-boyfriends. Like I said, if you are still cool with these guys. Because some of us, we done ran these men off to where they want nothing to do with us ever in life. Or your baby daddies. You got 4 or 5 of them, call them and ask them. What is it about me where, you didn't feel like we could have a relationship? Let me tell you something. If 3 out of 5 of them say the same thing, then you already got your answer. Because these are different men from different walks of life, and all of them have dealt with you. So there's no way all of these men are going to have an opinion about you and all of them are going to be wrong. Because all of them have been with you. So you need to reach out to men who you have been in relationships with. They will tell you the real you. Because guess what? They ain't got nothing to lose telling you the real you. They're not with you anymore. Evidently, you moved on, they moved on. So they got nothing to lose being truthful. Or ask your father. Black women who got relationships with their dads, your daddy will tell you why you haven't been successful in getting a relationship. What I like about dads is, for one, like both of my dads, they from the old school. And they're going to tell you how it is. But they're going to also give you constructive criticism, but they're going to also show you love because you're their daughter. Now, why y'all going to these foreign men online to get information and then your feelings hurt because they don't have to give you any type of nurturing, because for one, again, they may not even like black women. So the moment you call in, they're already in attack mode. Don't matter how polite you are, don't matter how soft-spoken you are, the moment you say one little thing, it's on and popping. You getting your feelings hurt, and you done caught the show, and what did you gain out of it? You didn't get no solution other being told you ugly, you average, you not that good looking. You didn't get no solution. Now, like I said, I got 2 dads in my life. I got my stepdad and my biological. Both of them jokers know me in and out. And there's been times I went through stuff in my marriage, and I had to reach out to my dads, and be like, Dad, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And my dad told me, well, I'm letting you know I know you. One of your problems is you think you like to be right. And how can I argue that? Because the man knows me. Black women, the mistake y'all making is y'all going to people who don't know much of anything about you. All of these men you've been with, all of these men in your family, you could go to your dads, you could go to your brothers, men who have grown up with you, who can give you real assessment because they've been around you. They know you. You're not going to learn anything and get any real effective solution within a 15, 20-minute conversation because the dude done look at your picture and sized you up and already feel like because you're not attractive enough, you ain't no hope for you. You got brothers, you got uncles. I got a relationship with my uncles. My uncles know me very well. I got several men in my family who I can talk to. And the main person is my husband. He know me like the back of my hand. He know me better than I know myself. I go to him and I tell him, this happened today on the job. This went down. Okay, well, what happened? Because I know you quick to get emotional. I know you quick to get bent out of shape. He knows how I am. He's been with me for years, almost 20-something years. So, really, black women, that's y'all fault. Y'all getting criticized. Y'all getting belittled because you're not getting the right assessment. Like I said, a 10, 15-minute call is not enough of time to assess you as a person. You want to know the truth about yourself? Talk to your exes. Talk to guys you dated that didn't work out. They'll tell you why they didn't date you. They'll tell you why they wouldn't marry you. But the only thing I can say is you better be prepared to handle it, because they're going to say something that's very hurtful. But I can take hurtful things from somebody who does know me or who has been with me before I can take hurtful things from somebody who never even knew nothing about me, only met me through a picture and a 10 to 15-minute phone call. But again, you have these black content creators that are weaponizing the truth. One thing about truth is going to come with a solution. It just doesn't come with criticism. It comes with a solution. It's no different than when you was in school and the teacher asked you to go to the board and do a math problem in front of the class. Like me, I never was good at algebra. So whenever a teacher called me to the front of the classroom to do an algebra problem on the board, my confidence would already be shot before I got up there. Because I knew I didn't hardly know anything about algebra. But when I went to work on the problem, and as I started doing the problem, like with algebra comes with many steps. How you got there? You do a division problem, you got to carry the one and subtract and however the steps are. And whenever I would complete that problem, the teacher would be observing me as I was working the problem out on the board, and she would notice when I missed a step or two. When she would wait till I got to the end to tell me where I went wrong. She didn't badger me while I was in the middle of the problem. Oh, that's stupid. You forgot to carry the one. Oh, that's stupid. You didn't even subtract. Oh, that's dumb. You didn't even bring the doggone number down. How you going to make that number the divider when you didn't even bring it down? She didn't keep badgering me while I was in the middle of working the problem out. Even though she saw I was already making the wrong steps as I was doing the problem, she waited until I was finished, allowed me to make my mistakes. Then she would tell me where I went wrong. Then she would let me know, good effort. At least you did try. You didn't back down from the problem. You took a chance, even though you know you're struggling in algebra. You took a chance. You came up here. You tried your best to work the problem out. Even though the answer did not come out right, I'm going to show you where you went wrong. See, you forgot to carry the one. And you forgot to move this number over here. Once she explained to me, it gave me more confidence in knowing what I needed to do the next time to avoid making that same mistake. You have to give people room to fuck up so they can learn what they need to improve at. A lot of us as content creators, we are abusing the privilege of people admiring and respecting us for what we do. And what has happened is when numbers boost, when subscribers boost, so do the ego. Egos start boosting as well, to the point where people feel like they can say and do what they want, because at the end of the day, they're looking at it like, well, I got all these subscribers. I got all of these views. I got over 300,000 views. So somewhere I'm doing something right. And views have a way of manipulating you into thinking that you are right for how you do things the way you do. But really, you'll get a lot of support and everybody is supporting you for the right reasons. But you got some people that are so greedy with fame and success, they don't care why people are supporting them, as long as people are supporting them no matter what. So what tends to happen to content creators, a lot of people could be supporting them just based on the strength that they love to see them attack people. And in their minds, they're thinking that people are supporting them because people really admire them and respect them. And numbers have a lot of content creators fooled. And what a lot of them are not understanding is, even as a content creator, we all get that winning streak. You all start off getting our winning streak to where you are consistently on top. Your numbers are consistently growing. Your subscribers are consistently growing. But the only dangerous part about that, too much is given, much is required. There's a lot that comes along with being successful, because as your fan base grows, so do your enemies, so do your foes. There's people out here waiting for you to slip, waiting for you to mess up, so they can dismantle and tear down something that it took years for you to build. Now, when it comes to weaponizing the truth, as I stated, you have a lot of content creators. They are really going too far. They're really going too far with people that respect their opinion, to the point to where they feel like they can say anything. And you have to be very mindful of that. As I stated, as a content creator, we all are responsible. You got to be careful with how you use your truth, because a lot of these content creators, some of them are just very disrespectful, and they like to generalize. And then you don't know enough. One thing about a content creator, you got to know something. You got to know more about their history, because it'll give you a stronger incentive on why they teach and preach the content that they do. Because if you really dig up and look into their history, you'll find out it's a reason they so hard on a certain group of people, or they're so quick to tear down other people. You can offer constructive criticism and solutions without being disrespectful and tearing people down, because you really don't know when people call your show or when people come to you. You don't know if these people have been abused. You don't know if these people are on the urge of suicide or have suicidal tendencies. You don't know what's going on in the psyche of people, which is why they are reaching out to you. You have to be careful. You got some content creators, they just want to talk instead of giving constructive advice. That's all they want. That's all they want to do. Because contrary to what we may say, even if a man decides to call into my show or calls me and says, "Hey, Mocha, I'm having a problem dating black women." Just about every black woman I dated has always been an issue, and I'm not getting anywhere with any of them. First of all, I'm going to ask him, okay, what type of relationship did you have with your family, with your mother growing up? I first need to learn more about him before I can give him advice about black women based on not knowing nothing about his history. I need to know what type of experiences he had in his childhood that could be hindering him from not having a successful relationship with black women. So anyhow, I just thought it was imperative that we talked about how these black content creators are weaponizing the truth. There's nothing wrong with telling the truth, but the problem with truth these days is that people are using truth to attack, and they're using it as a weapon. They're not using truth to help uplift and to build a person into becoming better. So anyhow, I just thought it was imperative, that I discuss this, because a lot of this is going on in the black YouTube sector. As a black content creator, we have to be more responsible. We have to be very careful with how we address people, with how we make people feel when they come to us and need advice, when they come to us and say, hey, this is what's going on. You got to make people feel comfortable. And there's a way you can share your truth and criticize without tearing down or without belittling and bashing. And it's just way too much of that going on in the Black community. So anyway, y'all, leave y'all comment below. Let me know what y'all think about Black content creators that are weaponizing the truth. I will holler at y'all later. And don't forget, I do have cable, 6,000 channels, only $26 a month. You just need a Fire Stick. That includes free pay-per-view events. So if you're interested, please email me. And this is my email here. And guys, before y'all leave, please don't forget to thumb me up. Just take that second to hit the like button. It's not going to cost you anything. This is my email for people who are interested in getting my cable or certain topics or stories that you would like for me to cover, you like my opinion on. For those who are interested in donating, it's not an obligation. That's only if you feel the kindness in your heart to do so. My Cash App is $Diamond Girl. So anyway, y'all, I'm going to get ready to shut it down. This is your Diva and Knowledge Lady Mocha. Remember, I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth, and I'm going to always bring you off a slice of knowledge. Y'all be blessed. Take care.